in 5 minutes. I'm totally BSing. You should not have fallen for that. No, heck no, he's not coming. Those guys are checked out. Oops. Come on. Alrighty. Good evening, race fans. This evening is the Pits All-Star Race. This is the end of Season 6. This is a non-points event for the night. Just the guys out there having a little bit of fun. A little bit of a less serious competition tonight, which is nice to have every once in a while. Oops. So we have Mopar, Jackson, Bovik, One Space, Z, and Racer, which pretty much accounts for the top half of the field on a normal night. We are missing Ice Warden, who's a top finisher in this series. Should get qualifying kicked off here in just a second.
Hello?
Hey, Fallen.
How are you tonight?
Welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
I can.
Perfect.
So what do you think tonight, Fallen? We have a smaller field than we typically do. And I think that's mostly due to the fact that it's a non-points race and maybe people are taking a break. And I know a lot of guys weren't particularly fond of the C7R to begin with.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think that's about right. I wasn't particularly a big fan of the way the car drove neither. but I could get around the track. And, you know, I thought it was a fun car once you got the hang of it, but that's just me. It is a little bit disappointing to only see a small turnout versus a larger turnout like we normally get.
Well, we'll see what happens when the series, when the next season starts up again. You know, what minus Ice Warden, this is probably the top half of the field most nights.
Yeah. Definitely.
So we got about 8 minutes left in this qualifier. Let me get out on track here real quick, and so we can watch some of these boys take some laps. There's Vovik 05 on his outlap, I believe. Now,
And
this
I believe
is the
everybody's under.
Bugatti
Yes,
circuit at Le Mans, which, if you're not familiar, is a road course that does utilize the beginning section of the 24-hour circuit, but significantly shorter.
Yes.
Yes, Paul.
I'm just getting all set up here. I'm sorry.
Oh. Well, hurry up already, will you?
I can. You know, tonight is a relaxing night, so forgive me for not being all set up already.
It is
Yeah.
clear conditions. Sun is shining. It looks to be about midday.
Okay, that's
Looks like
also,
a beautiful day for a race. Look at all the rubber put down on that turn. Holy cow.
This track does take the rubber in fairly quickly. I have noticed, at least in this game, it does. I believe it has something to do with its location and the materials used for the track and stuff. Basically, I've noticed that over time that this particular racetrack does get a lot more rubbered in over the course of a race than a lot of other tracks I've noticed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
At least when I drive it, that's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be a placebo effect thing, or I'm very familiar with the track or whatever, but this is one of my favorite tracks in this game.
I've personally not really spent a whole lot of time on it, to be honest. I've done a couple races here and there, but never really took the opportunity to really get to know it.
Right.
There's Mopar just in front of Vovik. He's got a 137 so far, and my P-Cars dash is looking awful. Well, here we go. I'm starting to see some names now.
My P-Cars dash still isn't even up yet, and I just opened the wrong folder on the computer. Tonight is going very well, isn't it?
Mopar with a 36.3. Vovik is at the top of the board with a 35.8. So I would imagine that's pretty much where these guys need to be. 35's probably 34, and Mopar's around in what is turn 2, I believe. I don't even have my turn schematic out, as a matter of fact.
And I'm the one that's not prepared.
No, I didn't. You know what? I'm packing up a car and I'm heading to Orlando in like 30 hours, so hush.
That's all right.
I'm basically checked out and I'm ready for vacation, so
I drove 7 hours to pick up a car yesterday, and then
Did
I
you?
ended up getting it home. Yes. Then I ended up getting
Nice.
home and locking myself out of it.
Okay. That's an interesting story. Did you purchase a new
Yeah.
vehicle?
Used.
Okay.
2002 Monte Carlo, actually.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yep, got it home, got it all, you know, was testing everything, making sure everything worked, that I didn't get to test it out there. And I hit the lock button to make sure the locks worked, closed the door, went to open it back up, and then realized my keys were in the car.
Nice. That's a fail. It's a fail and a half.
Yep.
Actually.
Yep. Completely had a brain fade for, I don't know why. Luckily, the good news is, it was only the car key that I left in the car ignition, or in the car, and all my other keys happened to be in my pocket because I hadn't put the key on the key ring yet. So, good news is my other vehicle is still operational and drivable, so I didn't have to. I'm not too worried about getting that car unlocked as it's not road legal yet. No title transfer's been done, and I got. I'm dealing with the rest of everything else before I can do that. So, get everything in line before I can get that car transferred, and then once that's done, I'll be good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One space put down a nice lap, 1:35.8 last time by, just a couple tenths slower than Vovic's provisional pole time. I don't know that
Vovic is
Z
second, actually.
or-
Vovic ran a 135.89. One space 135.864. So one space has pole right now.
Maybe my P-Cars dash is not working properly, because I show Vovic at a 665.
I'm looking at the live
Gotcha.
feed was what I got. One space is in the lead with a 135.864 with Vovic in second with a 135.890. Mopar 136.391.
It's probably me switching back between cars. The P-Cars dash doesn't like that very much sometimes. Kind of goofy.
Jax and Racer still have yet to get a lap time in.
Well,
both out on track.
there's only a minute and a half left in this session, so they probably won't get it at this point, but that's okay.
It's only a fun race anyway.
Yeah.
Basically, this is where the fast guys come and show their stuff one last time before we go on to the next car.
And truth be told, it could really be anybody, because there's plenty of room.
Yep. Jax did get his lap in, a 140.771. Do not believe Racer will get a lap in, though. No, he has in fact abandoned his run.
Well, we are fortunate enough to be going down to Disney for a week.
Oh,
We're
nice.
leaving Friday morning. I head down there.
Well, lucky you.
I know, lucky me. It's right. Hoping to come back with a different vehicle myself. Actually, not for myself, for the family, but
Right.
we'll see. Gonna try and look at a couple used Mercedes R classes. Get rid of the
Nice.
CRV. So we got one space at the top of the board with a 135.7, followed by Vovic and Mopar. Jackson and Z also put down laps in the 140 range.
Looks like the top three will be pretty close, so
They
we'll have a good race.
they
Even with
typically are.
yeah. Even with the small field, it looks like we'll have a decent race up front. That's always nice to know. Forgive me, I am a little bit tired today. I've had a very long day so far, so got a lot of work done around the house and everything, and just winding down. Figured I'd get on, watch some racing, and have some fun.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's what's nice about tonight. That's why I like the All-Star race. It's just all about having fun. You don't have to be so much about racing. Well, you gotta race clean, and you gotta keep it clean, but...
Well, it's not as serious. It's not as serious, you know. So, and I guess that's the whole point, is just to be a little more relaxed environment, get together, turn some laps, without the super seriousness of the point series and how the results all stack up. I'm really excited for season 7. However, it'd be interesting to see how that all works out.
Have they announced the cars yet that are up for vote?
Nope. I have no idea what's going on with that. I am not privy to that information. I just talk.
Nor am I.
I just talk and I score.
Yep.
And I promote and more every week, I think.
I try
but
to get
I don't race, which means I don't have to
guys,
practice.
Right. I hope my mic volume is up to a little bit more tonight, as I did turn it up.
Well, let me turn my computer up, and we can talk a little bit, and you can talk a little bit with me, and then I can listen, and I can tell you.
Okay, no problem. It is definitely gonna be fun here. We should be starting in the next 2.5 minutes, so basically, I kind of want to get this race going because I don't know. I think it's gonna be good. The races here have always turned out to be fairly decent.
I would say much better than fairly decent. Really?
Everything all right?
I'm sorry?
Is everything okay?
Yeah. Yeah, volume sounds good.
Good.
As far as I can tell. So, 2 more minutes left in this warm-up. These guys make some last adjustments, and then we will go green. I will jump over to the game chat, to call the beginning of the race. I'll give you guys a couple laps of silence from me and just watch the action, and then I'll jump back and talk about racing and talk about the action, and I don't know, maybe I'll talk about vacation. I'll talk about 85 degrees instead of, I don't know, what was it in Cleveland today, like freaking 15 or something ridiculous. Ugh.
Don't make me jealous, okay?
What, jealous of 15? Where are you at?
I'm about probably 2 hours, probably more around 6 hours north of you.
Ah.
Up in Michigan. Yeah.
Oh, that state. Damn it.
Yep.
I'm gonna need another commentator because this is a problem. I did not realize that you're a Michigan guy.
Oh, fine. I see how it is. We are now taking new applicants for new commentators, apparently.
Yes, we are.
Like
we either need to replace myself or him.
Yep.
Jeez. Anyways.
That's right, you guys are all weird down there, too.
I know, we are. We are. I agree.
Looks like about 10 seconds left here.
Yep. We could have probably skipped this a minute ago. But that's okay. Oh man, I'm kind of tired tonight. Apologies. Hey, look at me. I'm on the top of the board.
Ah, hey, congratulations.
Everything
I'm
is
third.
awesome.
Man.
Yeah, see? You're slow. Your 0 lap was so much slower than my 0 lap. You know why that is?
Why is that?
Because you're from Michigan.
Yeah, right.
Alright, let me jump over here. I don't know what happened with this update, but this thing is not organized the way I remember it. Holy cow, somebody set this baby up for 1 hour. We have a 1 hour race tonight? Just a 1 hour race, alright. Yes, what he said. I said what he said, not that's what he said. Alright, boys. Here we go. Clean as any other night. Green, 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 green! Alrighty, we are back, and one space is creeping up on Volvic for the lead of this race.
Volvic did have a good jump on the start there, but it looks like one space does have faster race pace.
At the current moment, it certainly does. He's just going to have to figure out how he's going to play his cards here. He's going to be aggressive, he's going to try to make the move early and check out, or is he just going to bide his time? They've already got a pretty significant lead over third place, 3.5 seconds. So they could pretty much just play follow the leader for quite some time, just run some laps and just check out from the field.
That's probably what I would do in this situation if I was one space, is just leave everybody else and then battle for the lead.
Have you heard from any of the drivers what their strategies may be as far as tires are concerned. Stuff like
I
that.
have not.
Stints.
I
Looks
have
like
not
we have an
this week.
off back there in the field. Not sure who that was.
That would be Mopar. That looks like he had a problem.
Mopar.
I'm still going to two-stop, which would probably be the best strategy. Possibly a three. I'm not sure these guys will make me start a lap back. It's going to be competitive. It'll be longer than they've run all season long on set tires if they do.
Just behind Jackson and Mopar, we have Z93, followed by Racer 420. Mopar trying to make a move on the outside. Looks like he's going to pull that off.
Good move by Mopar there.
Super strong move.
I was saying this before I realized I was talking to myself after you jumped to game chat. I kind of like the idea of having a smaller group of, or a smaller race once in a while. It's kind of fun to get back to, you know, smaller rooms, because that's what most of us grew up with, was small fields, 6 cars, maybe 8 if you were lucky and had a good game that could run those type of things. But back on the PS1, PS2, 6 to 8 cars was all we could get in a game in general on a racetrack.
Oh, in one space, puts it around.
Oh,
Big
no.
big spin in turn 2. That's going to put him quite a bit back of Vovik. There you can see the gap on screen now. Well, you will hear in a second. It's about 4 seconds to the lead for one space. Just got away from him there. Things snapped around real quick.
Looks like a lot of guys are having issues. Z has just spun it in turn 4, looks like.
So currently we have Vovik in the lead, followed by one space. Mopar in the 3rd position. He's about 13 seconds behind the lead. Then it's Jackson, Racer, and then Z93. Kind of hot laps we got looking like. One space has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:36.332 so far. Just a skosh quicker than Vovik's 3:40. Then you
That's
go
pretty
to
close.
Mopar running a high 38 fastest lap so far. But Vovik in one space has some significant pace. Jackson at a 140. Racer at a 44, Z at a 42.
For the most part, the fast guys have, well, not for the most part, they have closer to the front of the field already. It's just now seeing if one space can pretty much catch Vovik, but as he had just made another mistake in turn 4, he needs to cut back on the mistakes to catch Vovik in the
Yes,
first
he's
place. So.
his gap to the lead is now about 4.5 seconds. But it is a 50-minute, it's a 1-hour race, about 50 minutes left. Plenty of time. You know, you make a mistake like that, you got to gather yourself up, right? You got to get back in the mindset, get back up on the wheel, hit your marks, get back into a rhythm, and this may not be a time where you can really push super hard right now. You know, he may have overheated tires with that spin. He may have flat spotted. He may not have the same level of grip as he did prior to that that off. So it may be a strategy call at this time, or at least for this stint, and then we'll see how things shake out. What do you see at the back of the field? Fallen? Anything going on with those boys?
Z has passed Racer, but Racer is heading into the pits. I believe he had a problem as he spun right in front of Z just before, as I was snapping through them. No contact was made, and it was just kind of a simple spin. But
oh, okay.
Other than that, no. They're pretty well spread apart back here. As a matter of fact, looking at the map, it looks pretty evenly spread throughout the entire field.
It does, as a matter of fact, and I can show you on screen. There is everybody. Myself and Fallen are in the pits. I think Racer's making a stop, or has Racer...
Racer looks... Okay, there he goes.
There you go, there he goes. So he's probably got some tires, I would assume, and some fuel maybe, and he will be back out on track. Probably be a lap down to the leader, I'm guessing.
Not quite. The leader's coming out of the final corner now.
The gap between 1 and 2 is still pretty steady, has been pretty steady at 3.6 seconds for the last couple laps. I am surprised that we don't see... Boy, I think Vovik must have had a slow... He ran a 1:38 last time by. One space has eaten over a second out of his lead.
Not a whole lot's going on the track right now. Basically, everybody's kind of just running their laps right now, letting the clock wind down a lot, and see if they can stay close enough to the guy in front of them to make a move later on in the race.
Now, what I do notice is, although Vovik and One Space were putting down some flyers at the very beginning of this race, we are now working... Well, technically it's lap 8, it's really racing lap 7. Their times seem to have plateaued a little bit, and Mopar is now running on par with them pace-wise. At a low 137, those guys are running higher 136s now. So I am a little interested in seeing if there is a little bit of strategy being employed by Mopar for this race. Being that it is 15 minutes longer than a typical pits race, and we're only doing one race tonight, by the way. So what you see is what you get. One Space has that down to about 3 seconds.
It looks like Z is in the pits, and looks like Racer is back in the pits. Not sure what's going on with Racer and why he's back in the pits again, but...
Interesting.
Matter of fact, Z came in and then left again before Racer left, so not certain what's going on there.
Here's Mopar. Best lap of 137.1 so far this race. Ran a second slower than that last time by. Trying to find more time and catch up with these front runners.
And Racer is leaving the pits now.
But he is... Mopar is struggling. Mopar is struggling for pace tonight relative to Volvic 05 and One Space. Those guys are definitely in a little bit of a different league. Mopar kind of all by himself in limbo as far as pace is concerned. He's a bit slower than those two and quite a bit faster than the rest of the field. Jackson having a nice consistent night. I don't think he's had any spins or any offs or anything like that. Just minding his manners. Turning laps. And he is in the 4th spot.
Looks like One Space is slowly catching Volvic.
It is. It's probably on average about a tenth or so a lap. It's down to 2.7 seconds. It was at its greatest 4.6. So he's been putting the work in. He's out there trying to figure it out for sure. I want to watch this. On timing, really paying attention to this Jackson Z race. It's 48 seconds. It's pretty significant.
But Z has made his pit stop.
But Z has made a pit stop, right? Pretty early, so I would imagine he's. You think he's looking at a 3-stopper?
I think he is. That was one of the strategies I thought may or may not work. I wasn't 100% certain on it.
I think if Jackson ran a 2-stopper, he could beat him. If he can drive the car long enough.
Jackson's doing. And do you think there's anybody out there that's going to go for a 1-stop?
No, a half an hour on the in this car. No, I really don't think so. Considering okay, here this turn right here, pretty fast downhill, long downhill. That's really hard on the left side tires. I just don't see that's gonna make coming out of the last turn of the track.
Volvic, as One Space is now in the lead.
Oh goodness, yes, and it is 8 seconds too.
Volvic has significant front end damage. And is heading to the pits.
He does have pretty significant front end damage, as you can see on camera there. Wow. I wonder what... darn shame that I missed that.
It looks... The good news for him is that's right just before the window really opens up for a 2-stop strategy. So he still might be able to pull that off.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out for his strategy. You know, hopefully he was planning 2 stops, because he's now in the 3rd position. Mopar has not stopped. One Space has the lead. Jackson's gonna go by for the 3rd position.
Yes, Volvic has slotted in the 4th.
Well, let's see. Let's do the quick math. Well, it's kind of hard to tell because Vovic's made a stop. But the gap to the lead for Vovic is 46 seconds.
Mopar is in the lead. Or in the pit, sorry.
Okay. So... nice. The game totally just ran him into the garage. I can't say that I've ever seen that before.
Because they're showing damage on my screen from that. Jackson is in the pit, so these guys are running a two-stop strategy. Once played might have lost his marbles and might show us that losing your marbles might be a good thing sometimes. Depends on if he makes a pit stop this lap. If he doesn't make a pit stop this lap, I can almost guarantee you he's going for a one stop.
Interesting. I would be...
He did not go into the pits.
Pretty shocked. You know, you also consider at this point, you're on 20-minute-old tires. Now, for viewers watching, these guys are they still running 4 times tire wear? Or
yes,
is it 3 times? It's 4 times tire wear, so 20 minutes is a lot. It's a lot of wear on these tires. They lose a significant amount of traction and stability in a pretty short amount of time. So, you know, those guys behind him have stopped. They're on fresh tires, and at this point, they're up to race pace and temperature. So, I mean, let's look. Last time by, Vovic just ran a 136.1. So
compared to one space is 141.0.
Right. So he has, I mean, the gap's 37 seconds, so he needs to run for what?
One pit stop.
They're a minute and a half laps. He needs to run for 3 more laps or so before he pits. But the key is he doesn't want to stay out too long because he wants to make sure to make this work. He really wants to get out of the pits ahead of Vovic. If he ends up behind him, it's going to slow his. It's going to mess up his strategy a bit, I think.
He's coming
and here
in.
he is. I don't know. I don't see this being a one-stop race. I really don't. He's probably
if he didn't go for the one stop here, then he gave up a lot of time for the rest of the competition. Sorry, cannot speak tonight. Cannot do the English language for some reason.
Again,
looks like Z has caught Jackson, and then Z just spun.
Oh no!
Z catches, Z spins. Funny, he was talking about the commentator's curse last time.
Yeah, true.
Although one space is directly behind Vovic.
Oh, let me get to those guys.
Vovic got a little bit ahead as one space was accelerating, but
okay, well this is good for him. They're pretty much where they were 15 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, you know. 1-2, he just has to not lose it, which I think that he's got enough discipline at this point, laps down, and discipline to keep the car underneath of him. Also, Mighty Mopar ran a 136.6 last time by, so he has figured this track out, and this was going to be a 3-horse race by the time this is all said and done. look for Mopar to challenge. Because they are almost all on the same screen. Mopar right now is thinking, go one space. Because he really needs one space to get up there, challenge Vovik, get those guys racing, slow their pace down so he can catch. And unfortunately, I've lost Z in this race, and I've lost Fallen as being an in-lobby commentator.
Yay!
Nothing going right
way I can
tonight,
get back
huh?
in.
No, you're not going to be able to get back in, unfortunately.
No, not at all. Sounds like I should just go back to bed tonight.
Well, at least you can watch the stream. This is gonna be a nail biter at the end. I mean, these two. I'll say these three because I really think Mopar is gonna be up there by the time it's all said and done.
Well, if I'm gonna watch the stream, I'm gonna have to take a quick break to go get my equipment set up for streaming.
Alrighty.
So, I will be right back.
I will be right here. So with that, one space still trying to track down Vovik, and he is there. He's pretty much right to the bumper at this point. How much pressure is he going to put? How hard is he going to race Vovik? He's going to force him into a mistake? Is he going to look for a gap? Is he just going to follow? As long as they're running fast pace, which they are. And here's the thing that I noticed from the beginning of the race, and I'm seeing again now, is these two get together, bumper to bumper, they run fast. They're not getting side by side and slowing each other down, but they're really running really fast pace right now. 35s, 36s. Mopar ran at 37.5 last time by, so a second slower than Vovik.
And I'm back.
Welcome back.
My laptop's funny. It has enough battery life to last an hour without running like YouTube or anything. But as soon as I have to run YouTube, I need my thing plugged in, so. I'm firing up YouTube right now to get another stream. And look at that, you're the first thing recommended on my list.
One space looks like he lost a little bit of time that time by. I think he may have got a minor shortcut penalty from the game because his lap's showing up red on my P-Car's dash.
I want to say hi to Midnight Racecraft as I see you are now watching. I know who that is.
Who is that? Who is Midnight
He's about
Racecraft?
40 feet away from me.
What's that?
He is about 40 feet away from me. He's my roommate.
Oh.
No. So, anyway, I'm on the YouTube now and I'm watching a very epic quality video because my stuff is not picked up. I cannot stream at 720. Good road, okay. Good work. Very much good. Apparently I am too quiet when you're in bumper cam.
Even I'm quiet when I'm in bumper cam. The audio is just significantly louder when it goes to that camera.
Okay. I now can't talk about the race itself. This is kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it definitely
10
makes it
seconds
tougher
behind.
for you since you're seeing it in a delay now instead of being in the lobby and seeing it live through the cameras. Oh!
Yeah.
And somebody... Was that Racer
I believe it was.
with the issue
Looking at
there?
the replay, that looked... Yeah, it was.
One space catching back up to Vovik here. So when will he make the move? I'm thinking we know this is most likely going to be a two-stop race, and he's going to force Vovik to pit first. That's what I'm thinking. I think he's not going to try to make the move. He's going to force him to pit first. I mean, he's either going to force him to pit first or not pit at all.
I think, Vovik should be the first one to pit, as he pitted first on the first stop. He pitted first significantly on the first stop. I think it was, what, a 3-lap difference between the two of them? 3 to 4 laps?
Yeah, I'd say you're about right. He's got a pretty decent gap right here. It's not quite a second. Because I'm pretty confident in saying that if Vovik enters the pits with one space less than 4/10 behind him, he's going to lose the lead after they've both cycled through. I'll call that now. He needs to gap. He needs a gap within the next 5 to 6 minutes of racing.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, looks like one space is getting pretty aggressive. Maybe he's not going to wait for pit stops. He wants to go now. So,
on her part.
patience
Definitely
here
not
could
going
pay
to
off
the
in
finish.
dividends, I do believe. If we're at the point in tires where he has that much more pace and stability in his car than Vovik, then, and we've seen this from Vovik in the past, where his car looks really, really loose later in the run. I do believe that's I'm recalling the right driver.
Yes, I believe Vovik usually has a very loose car late in the run.
So this is an opportunity for one space to pounce now. I mean, if he can get by, even if he only gets by for a lap before he pits, then, you know, then that's 30 feet, you know what I mean, of track. So you take everything that you can get. There's no concern about what's going on behind, because Mopar's basically 12 seconds behind these two. He was not able to find the overall pace that I thought he was going to be able to get, and at this point in the race I think it's a bit too late.
Yeah. It does look like if the pass is going to happen, it's going to happen in this complex here, the last complex before the start-finish line.
I think it'll be, yeah, it'll be getting a run out of that corner and then under braking at turn 2.
One space can definitely see that something's up with Volvik's car, based on the body language of One Space's car that I've been watching.
Yeah, this is really good stuff right. This is professional racing. Oh, not quite. I've noticed lap after lap that One Space takes a very different entry to that turn right there than Volvik does.
They both come out with the same exit speed.
That looked a little bit close. I think One Space can get to the throttle a little bit sooner than, and there's that wiggle. I don't know if you caught that, but Volvik is struggling for traction right now. And with just under 23 minutes still left to go in this race, the pit stop is going to happen soon for both of them. Oh, One Space, or I'm sorry, Volvik 05 is really struggling to hold a line through the slower turns right now. The car just doesn't have the mechanical grip that he needs right now to run the same pace as One Space. Goes to the inside. Oh, looks like he's going to have to give that back. I don't think there was any contact there, but maybe Volvik felt the need to give a little more space to the inside. But nonetheless, it's still Volvik out in the lead and ahead in this battle of two. Man, that car just looks so planted.
Definitely.
Oh, little bit of bump by One Space there. He's really putting the pressure on.
I would say I'm about 6 seconds behind you right now.
Nothing too harmful there by any stretch of the imagination. Just a little tap. That's a hey, I'm right here. As if he didn't know anyways.
Right. I can almost guarantee you Volvik knows that One Space has been there for a while.
He's known that he's been there for 39 minutes of this race. He just has to keep holding his line. The one thing that he can't do is overdrive right now, because he'll throw away any opportunity that he has to win this race in a defensive position. He's got to hold his line. He cannot overdrive any of these slow corners. And he just lost it. One Space to the lead. The car just looped around on him.
Just giving up right there.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. You know, we figured two stoppers. You know, we were figuring probably about 20 minutes from the beginning, 20 minutes to go, and that's where we're at. And Volvik was really struggling for grip there. You could see the car was a little bit twitchy, and he just didn't have the stability in it.
Now, if I was One Space, I'd pit right now.
Yep, I agree. Volvik's in. One Space is going by start finish now. I mean, he's going to have a significant lead after that spin. It kind of doesn't matter when he pits, as long as he's got the car under him. I don't think he has to worry too much about pace. Let's see, last time by, he ran 38.5. Vovik currently 9 seconds back. Coming out of the pit stops, or out of pit road. Pardon me. Let's see if this thing refreshes, because he will obviously be a lot further than 9 seconds back. 39 second is the gap from first to second.
Now
So
One Space just has to drive with no mistakes.
yeah, we got about a minute and a half lap. So let's see. We got 10 laps to go, essentially. Even if he has a 5-second advantage on new tires for the first 6 laps, he's still not going to be able to catch him if One Space decides to just pedal it and not pit. Personally, I would just pit, take the tires, and then not have to worry about an ill handling car late in the race. There's really no disadvantage at this point. And One Space coming down pit road now. Oh! I was completely wrong.
That is, Vovik just went by.
Vovik just went by for the lead. Wow. Totally caught me off guard there. I did not expect that at all. It had to be fuel load. Absolutely had to be fuel load. Now One Space has to go to work. Both these guys have fresh tires. Mopar is only 3.3 seconds back of One Space at this point. I don't know what his tires look like or what his pit strategy looks like. But One Space has to go to work now.
Yes, he does.
That strategy... Wow, I'm really surprised by that. Well, it is about a second and a half between first and second. It is 4 seconds, I'm sorry, from second to third. And I do think those guys... One Space, 1:35.726. Fastest lap. 35.8, fastest lap for Vovik. Yeah, Mopar just lost another second and a half, 2 seconds that last time to One Space. When these guys are on fresh tires, they just check out. 15 minutes to go. 25% of this race left. Will One Space catch Vovik? Will he get up to the bumper? Will he be able to pass him? Where is it going to happen, Fallen?
I'm not sure.
Where on track is the best spot? I feel like they're not going to have. They're going to have, in the next 15 minutes, they're going to have worn tires, but they're not going to have super worn tires like they did at the end of their second stint. So it's not going to be super easy for One Space to just drive on by. It's not. I don't think it's really going to be a power move. He's going to have to be quite selective of how he puts the pressure on and where. It's now less than a second gap. One Space is catching.
Oh.
Let's look at the entry to this turn. One Space went a little wide in the center of that, but pretty similar. I think later in the run, it changes quite a bit.
Yeah. Right now, One Space should be just patient. He knows what it's going to eventually get loose. And when it does, he needs to be there.
I have to disagree. I think he has to be patiently aggressive at this point.
Yes.
He does not have that many laps left. It's 12 and a half minutes to the end of this race. And like I said, they're not going to have completely shot tires by the end of the stint. They're going to have relatively decent, and thank you, Jackson, for letting the drivers go by. I appreciate that. He really has to make the move. He needs to get there. He needs to put a lot of pressure on. He needs to force Vovic into a mistake, and he needs to create the hole.
Yes.
So that he can take the position. I don't think he doesn't have time. He's not going to be in a position where he can just. If it were 16 minutes now instead of 11, I would say yes. Be patient. Force Vovic to run a fast pace and kill the tires, and then go by when he just doesn't have the stability anymore. Because more than likely, you know that's going to happen. But I don't think that's going to be the scenario here. He's going to have to make the pass the old-fashioned way.
I can tell you now, probably one of the comments as well, is One Space is faster than Vovic in the final four corners. At least entering and everything.
I would agree with that.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen there. I think.
One Space to the inside. No. Not quite.
As I said,
although I have seen Vovic's car be a little bit twitchy in instances, it still has reasonable mechanical grip through the slow stuff. So it's not super off the pace yet, but I think it is starting to starting to drift the wrong way for Vovic. I don't know how bad it's going to get. I would say this though, with 10 minutes to go, he knows One Space is faster than him. He's got to be pushing this car really, really hard. So, with that said, I could be wrong in my prior judgment that the tires may not be that bad. He more than likely is working them harder now than he has at any point prior to this in this race. So, we'll see. We'll see how sketchy this car looks here in the next 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, I can tell you my roommates in the comments. Still.
And he gave you all caps too. He's not very happy with you right now.
I see that.
One space showing some aggression down into that that carousel there. Showing a nose to the inside. Couldn't make anything there, but really gonna force Vovik to run some defensive lines he probably would rather not. But that's the position he's in. He's gonna have to defend. He's gonna have to be smart about his lines and not allowing one space to poke the nose in. Little bit of a hiccup there. That gap lengthened significantly through that last that slow.
I think if one space can get catch back up to that bumper, there will be a nose put somewhere where Vovik doesn't want it.
Well, hopefully it's to an open section of track.
Hopefully. That should be. With these guys, they're definitely top quality racers.
For sure.
I'm not expecting anything dirty out of one space.
He's 1.2 back, and I expect that to get cut quickly. But we'll see. I mean, these guys ran... Vovik ran a 1:35.6 last time by. That's a pretty fast lap. Pretty fast lap. One space's hot lap on the race is a 1:34.989. I don't know what lap that was, but I think it was...
Whatever lap that was, it was fast.
It was fairly recently, I think.
I think it'll be a lot.
It's still a 1.2 second gap. One space not quite catching Vovik super quickly here in the late stages.
Has Vovik gone into a slightly conservative mode to...
Nope, he cut it down quite a bit there.
Has Vovik gone conservative to...
No, he can't go conservative.
Make the tires?
No. You just have to drive it at this point in the race. When you're talking a 4-car length lead with 6 minutes to go, you can't conserve anymore. You just have to drive it. You have to drive it hard. You just gotta manhandle it. That's just all there is to it. You can't be pussyfooting around leading a race with such a slim margin of victory. You gotta go. You can't give that guy any opportunity to get a run anywhere. You just have to be fast. You just have to put out of your mind how difficult the car is to drive, and you just have to drive it.
I can tell you right now, one space has his eye on the clock, and he knows how much time is left.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And he is there.
One space, a little twitchy there.
Did one space burn his tires off? he has been one of the longest runners on a slow tire, so I'm not certain that he's burned his tires up.
Well, they're both driving very, very, very hard at this point.
True, harder than they have all race long.
One space is really fast through that section right there, that turn 2 to turn 3 complex.
I think
I mean, he takes as much of that racetrack that this game will allow a driver to have. But it's legal. It's a legal line. I've been watching it the entire race. Oh, that was a little bit of contact.
It's so funny.
One space to the lead.
I believe one space just showed the chrome horn to Vovik. One space going to the pits? Is that one space just went in?
One space has gone to the pits. Vovik back to the lead with just about 2.5 minutes to go. And Vovik with an issue in turn 2. Not sure what happened there.
Looks like he locked up.
Well, with about 1.5 minutes to go in this race, we have Vovik in the lead, one space in the second position, about 20 seconds back. Mopar in third, about 48 seconds behind one space, and Jackson is only 1 lap down. Z93 and Racer both either disconnected or retired. I know I saw on screen that Z disconnected. I don't know about Racer, but I do not see him on. Yep, he is not in the lobby.
So pretty much on the final lap here, it looks like Vovik is going to win this race unchallenged.
Yes, Vovik should certainly take the win in this Season 6 All-Star race. It was a darn good battle at the front, the whole race. Things got strung out a little bit through some pit stops, but just kind of accordion right back to each other again. Little mistake on the part of one space trying to take the lead cleanly. Nothing super awful, but it did cause a little contact and put Vovik off his line. But those guys were racing hard, and it was that was a lot of fun to watch because it was a really really good, super close competition between those two for the better part of an hour. It was really good stuff. And with that, that'll mark the end of this Corvette, Fallen.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody, well, I would say very few will be sad to see it go. I'm interested to see what the possible cars for Season 7 will be.
Well, I'm not 100% certain right now. But yeah, with that, pretty much that is the end of the Corvette and the end of another great season of racing.
Really good season of racing. Really good.
Yes, I agree. Harley Owens got it perfect. Season 7 is on to Revolution. I agree.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's a phenomenal car. I loved it when I drove around the Nürburgring. It was one of the best cars I've ever driven on this game stock.
I'd like to see a proper, not that this isn't a proper race car, but a proper non-production based race car or something a little slower. I wouldn't mind seeing a series in a street car, honestly. I think it's
I wouldn't consider the Zonda Revolution a street car.
No, that's not. It's a track. That's a purpose-built track car. Yeah, Formula C. That would be a fantastic series. A Formula C series.
Yes, that would also be another fantastic series.
That would be a good series.
Anyway, I think with that, Volek wins the All-Star race. One space in second, Mopar in third, Jackson fourth, and I can tell we're both kind of tired, so
yeah, I'm going to be getting off
that time.
So, anyways, thanks everybody for watching. I know that we will be taking a week off, so there will be no stream next Wednesday. But the following week, I think it's the first Wednesday of April should be round 1 of the 7th season in the Pit Series. Not sure what car, not sure what track, so we'll just have to see what happens. But I know it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to see some good racing, and I hope to see you join me. Until then, take care.
Good night.
Oh, look, I finally get to save a replay. My gosh, really? All season long, and now on the All-Star race is the only time I ever get to actually save the replay. I wonder why that is.
Probably because a lot less people, a lot less...
yeah, it probably has something to do with somebody else's connection. Something.
Yeah.
Something goofy. So, anyways, good night, everybody. I'll see you in a couple weeks.